Welcome to Yoga with Laurie. How you doing on these hotter days? Look, I'm in shorts. So this is the Berkshire Yoga Dance and Fitness Sunday morning class, and some good news is as the reopening extends, there's a good chance we'll be doing some outdoor yoga in the near future. Also, just a reminder, I'm also creating shorter yoga snacks. They're like little parts of the jigsaw puzzle. So this week I've created one on core and one on twists. And putting these little yoga snacks together can definitely be useful for your overall yoga practice. So let's start to come into a seated or kneeling position. You can sit on blocks or rests. Close the eyes for a moment. And just notice if you have any intention for your practice. A little music in the background today. Bring your attention in. And with the theme of reopening, once again we move through a period of transition. Transitions can be exciting. They can also be a little rattling, a little nerve-wracking. So doing our practice on a regular basis helps create a stable base in our life. An anchor point. A place to return to, a refuge, a sanctuary. Use your practice today in whatever way you need to. Find your intention. Reach the hands above the head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale with an Om. Namaste. And then just start with a little bit of breath work, reaching the arms up above the head. Exhaling hands to chest or to knees, rounding the back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower and round. Feel all the different sensations of breath and stretch. Letting all these sensations, experiences bring you inside. Feeling the spine. Two more, and on that second inhale, hold the breath. Hold the breath until you feel the need to release. Just working at where your intention is today. If your intention is to push the edge, to go out there a little bit, do so, hold the breath. And if your intention is to be gentle, open, compassionate towards yourself, let the breath retention reflect that. Feel the energy build up as you hold the breath. And then release. Come onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Blocks could be handy. You can use a blanket under the knees if you need to. Inhale, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round the back. Cat and cow. And see if you can initiate the movement from the tailbone, ending the movement in the neck, sending a wave through the spine, maybe even following that wave, articulating each vertebra. I have no rights to this music, so it's just music that's playing. Inhale, extend that left leg back. Press out through the left heel. Stretch, big stretch. And then float that leg up, extend out through the heel. Feel that length. Lengthen the crown of the head forward. Shoulders come back, and as you feel the shoulders come back, you feel more length as the ribs move up into the armpits. And then exhale, bend that left knee. Bring it out into fire hydrant. Feel that fire hydrant. And from that fire hydrant, bring that left knee down to the right knee. And then extend it out one more time. Drive it out. Bend, fire hydrant. Exhale. Bring the knee to the knee, feeling the lubrication in the hips extend. Continuing those hip circles, big, slow, intentional hip circles. You can always come down onto the forearms if this is too intense for the wrists. Now the next time you come out into that lateral fire hydrant, extend the knee, kick the foot out and then back, and then push behind. Let's try that again. Inhale. Lift the fire hydrant, exhale, extend, and then back. Really working that left side. A lot of good core work here. One more, extend, drop the foot parallel to the long edge of the mat, push down through the pinky toe and start to pulse the hips back and forth. Back and forth. If you can, try to come all the way back to this variation of child pose, and then come forward, really leaning over those wrists, taking the weight into the hands, and then into the feet. The next time you come back, pause, bring the head to the mat, reach the hands forward. Big stretch. Slide the right hand underneath the left armpit, palm facing the ceiling. Try to come down onto that right elbow. Feel that rotation. Feel the sensations in a rotation. Keep the outer edge of that left foot down. And then bring the left hand closer to the head and then push into the mat, rotating the head towards the ceiling. And then release. Push and release. Push and release. Slowly come up. Hands under shoulders. Curl the toes of that right foot. Press back to awkward downward dog. Now push through the hands. Extend through the hands, through the arms. If you push through that left hand, you'll feel a zing in that right arm, that right rib cage, that right armpit. You feel a lengthening. Pressing back through both heels. Take the weight into the left hand as you lift the right hand to the sky. And then exhale, float that right hand out, just touching the leg. And then inhale, lift. Creating a little rotational dynamic movement here. Exhale, maybe finding a little more range of motion each time. Now the next time you come underneath, bend that left knee and really grab hold. Anchor that hand against the shin or the thigh, and then start to straighten that leg. As you do, you'll start to feel that right armpit come away from the spine, looking under the left armpit. Exhale, release. Float that right hand back to the mat. Step the left foot back to join the right foot and bend both knees. Rotate the knees outwards so the heels are touching. Heels are lifted, and then sit back into that hovering malasana. Let the knees come out. Really sit down, head down. Feel this in the Achilles, the toes. Now start to swivel the knees towards each other underneath the belly, keeping the knees bent. Extend out through the hands, through the heel palms and the finger pads. Lengthen through the arms. Let the shoulder blades come apart and wrap towards the chest. Crown of the head reaches towards the thumbs. Lengthen the tailbone away and then press the heels back into your downward dog. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, float the head forward. You might even walk the hands a little further forward. Come into your high plank and just hold high plank for a moment. Engage the abdominals, a slight tucking of the tailbone. Rotate the elbows forward. Don't let yourself sink in to the shoulders. Exhale, drop the knees wide. Float back, child pose. Sink back. Let everything go. Let it dissolve. Rock the hips from side to side. You might like to bend the elbows and bring the hands into a clasp position and just simply rotate the wrists. Letting go, using the transition to let go, to come back, to let in everything you just did. Inhale, come up, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Cat and cow, articulating the vertebra. Sending that wave through the spine. Start with the tailbone, end with the neck. If the hands feel tired at all, you can come onto fists, or you can come down to forearms. Have all these options open. Listen to your body. Inhale, extend right leg back. Drop the ball of the foot. Now press through that right heel. Delicious stretch. Float. Right leg up. Drive out through the heel. Shoulders come back and you feel a lengthening. Crown goes forward as the shoulders come back. Imagine the neck parallel to the earth. So there's a slight tucking of the chin, not lifting the head, but not dropping the head down. Bend that right knee out. Fire hydrant. Feel that fire hydrant. Feel the work, the sensation that generates in fire hydrant. Bring the knees together. Then extend out. Fire hydrant. Knees together. Continue those knee circles. Delicious, slow, and strong. So as we move gently through these poses, it doesn't mean there's weakness. We're using a lot of core strength to slow this down. The next time you come into fire hydrant, pause and extend. Bend and extend. Bend. This time as you extend, drop that right foot parallel to the long edge of the mat, pulsing the hips forward and back. Noticing where in the body sensations are strong, where sensations feel good, where there's pinching. Could you let all of the sensations be a blend, one sensation? To the point that even feeling the texture of the mat under the hands is part of the totality of the cocktail of sensations. Come all the way back. Hips sink all the way back. Keep that foot flat. Head come down into this variation of child. Extend the arms. Left hand comes underneath, palm facing the ceiling. Resting the left shoulder, left side of the head. If the head doesn't reach the floor, use a block. Bend that right hand and push down into the mat. Look to the ceiling. Feel the left shoulder blade come away from the spine. Feel that stretch. Release, press up, curl the toes of the left foot. Press back, awkward dog. Now notice as you press through the right hand, the left rib cage zings. And then start to lift that left hand towards the sky and then reach it out towards that right leg. Rotating from side to side, lifting with the inhale. Exhaling as you float under. Lubricating all the different parts of the body in this movement. Big stretch on that inner right thigh. The adductors getting a nice stretch here. Maybe noticing a little more range of motion. Now the next time you come around, underneath, bend that right knee so you can capture. Hand wraps around that shin. Slowly start to straighten that leg, feeling the left shoulder blade open up. Left groin open up. Enjoy. Releasing. Float that left hand to the mat. Right foot comes back heel to heel. Toes point out, Charlie Chaplin feet. Sink back into hovering Malasana. Like you're trying to do cobbler's pose or bound angle in this position. Knees rotate towards each other. Keep the knees bent. Bent knee, downward dog. Feel the thighs against the belly. Lengthen through the arms. Weight even around the hands. Shoulder blades come apart. Crown of the head reaches towards the thumbs. Heels push back into the mat. Downward dog. Walk the hands forward a little bit. Come into your high plank. Hold high plank, tucking tailbone towards navel. Rotating elbows forward. Hands not too wide or rotated outwards so there's no sinking into the shoulder blades, even though that can be a delicious experience. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, knees slide. Child pose, let everything go. Receive all the sensations. Receive the fruits of your practice. Rock the hips from side to side. Let the back of the neck go. Inhale, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Curl the toes, lift the knees, bent knee, downward dog, extend back. Press the heels down, lengthen. Right foot extends out behind you at the level of the spine so the hips remain square. Press down through the right heel. Now open up that right hip. Lift that left foot. Point the toe as if you're trying to scrape the roof. And then step that right foot between the hands. Drop the left knee. Inhale, reaching up. Shoulders roll down and back. Palms face forward. Float the hands up, wide V. Feel that back hip flexor. Could you curl the toes of that left foot and lift the left knee, rising up into your runner's lunge? Exhale, hinge forward as if you're a launching ramp. Arms, back, leg, all one beautiful big line. Drop the right hand down next to the right foot or onto a block and bring your left hand onto the hip. Feel that rotation. Keep that beautiful line with that back heel. Just the thoracic spine twisting here. Lift that left hand towards the sky. Reaching up. Spread the fingers. Change hands. Left hand to the earth. Hand on block. Right hand reaches up. Exhale, bring that right hand down, step back, downward facing dog. Pushing heels towards earth, head towards floor. Left foot high to the sky. Not high to the sky, as an extension of the spine. Feel that leg in alignment with the spine. Right heel pushes down. Then point the toes, this time opening up that hip, trying to scrape the ceiling with that toe. Big hip opening. And then step it forward, left foot. Drop the right knee. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Open up the chest. Palms face forward. Now press that right hip forward so you feel that right hip flexor opening. Hands float out to the side. Palms face up. Curl the toes of that right foot. Lift that right knee. Drive back through that right heel. Feel that stretch. Launching ramp. Arms forward, leg back. One beautiful line. Left hand comes down either to the outside of the foot or the inside of the foot. Hand on block or ground. Lift that right hand to heaven. Breathe. Exhale, switch sides. Right hand grounds. Open up. Left hand to heaven. Feel that reverse twist. Exhale, float that left hand down. Right foot comes forward. Forward fold. Grab the arms for a moment and allow the head to dangle. Allow the shoulders, the weight, to traction out the low back. Let the neck go. Feet parallel. Drop the hips for a moment and press into the heels. Keep hold of the elbows. Bring the elbows out in front of you and pull the elbows away from the head. And then keep pulling those elbows and let those elbows pull you up to a standing position. Bring the elbows back, biceps beside the ears. Now press down through the heels, lengthen the back of the skull, and then pick yourself up as if you're picking your elbows up, and the whole body's going to lift off the ground. Breathe. Lift those kneecaps without locking. Feel the arches of the feet lift. Everything's trying to lift. Exhale, release. Tadasana. Palms face forward. Shoulders back. Now taking the weight into that left leg, lift that right knee. And extend that right leg out. Bend. Open out to the side. Bring back to neutral. And lower slowly to the floor. Transferring sides, left knee lifts, right leg strong and stable. Lift, extend that left leg. Bend. Out to the side. Come back. And down. Other side, right knee lifts. Right leg extends. Toes curled back. Palms out to the side as if you're holding two candles. Feel the breath. Eyes on a fixed drishti. Transferring that knee or that foot into the standing leg tree pose, Vrikshasana. Foot against trunk. Trunk standing, rooting into the earth. Arms reach up. Clasping the fingers. Extending through fingers. Feel that length in the body. Exhale, hands together in prayer. And notice, where has your intention gone? Can you connect to that intention? Can you root into that intention? Just like a tree roots into the earth with the intention to grow tall, to reach the sky. Can you let your attention hover just a few inches above the head to keep lifting you up? Exhale, release. Transferring sides. Lift that left knee. Extend. Hands out to the side, palms face up. Eyes on a drishti. Exhale, bending the knee, planting the foot into the trunk of the tree. Feel the stability. Standing foot roots into the earth. Reach up to your intention. Let your intention pull you up. Let your intention do the work. Let the body just be a function of your intention. Held, suspended, paused. Reach, hold, lengthen. Exhale, release as you float down to the earth. Mountain pose. And then walking the feet apart, facing the long edge of your mat. Wide stance, feet pigeon-toed in. Blocks can be handy. Push back through the hips. Extend. Feel the back of the legs. Now you don't necessarily want to lock the knees. It's going to be easy to lock the knees. If you're hyperextensive, definitely create a micro bend in the knees so that you don't overdo that. Exhale, release down. Forward fold. And just for a moment, clasp the hands behind the head. Let the weight of the arms traction out the neck. Let the neck go. You can squeeze the hands and the forearms against the skull, feeling that very tight area where the skull meets the neck. The occipital ridge starts to let go. Let the hands come to the earth. Left hand onto the mat or a block. I'm going to use a block. Gives me a little more elevation. You can also use a chair here. Right hand to the sky. Exhale, change sides. Right hand to the block, chair, or earth. Twisting to the other side. And then exhale, using the hands to support you. Bend the left knee and lift the right foot to the sky. Now your hands can leave the earth if that feels comfortable. Now ideally that left foot is grounding onto the earth. But sometimes when that's not available to us, we'll come onto the ball of the foot. Using the hands to support you, come to the other side. The standing foot may rotate outwards to create that flatness. Left toes come up. And then with or without the hands, you can transfer to the other side. And then change one more time. Exhale, bringing the hands underneath. Push back, hands reach out. It's like a wide-legged version of downward dog. Now slight bending in the knees to take the weight. Let the thighs take the weight. Let the glutes squeeze as you float the hands out to the side into big wings. Palms facing the floor. Slowly stand up. And then rotate that right foot, bending the right knee, warrior two. Back toes slightly pigeon-toed. Keeping the arms extended, straighten that front leg. Now that's a little wide for me, so I'm going to alter the stance and come in a little closer with the legs straight as I transition to Utthita Trikonasana triangle, reaching forward, keeping those arms nice and parallel. And then keeping the arms linear, can you windmill them down? Not using that right arm to support you, just simply using it to create the geometry of the shape. My right knee is slightly micro bent to support that knee. Now turn and look towards the ceiling. Feel how that is on the neck. Then rotate to the horizon in front of you. And then rotate to the floor. Bending that knee. Come back, warrior two. And then floating the hands down. Rotating, push the hips back. Head down towards the earth. Right hand to block or earth. Lift that left hand. Exhale, change sides. Just feeling this gentle flow as we transition from shape to shape. Bring that right hand down, micro bend in the knees. Now firm up, create a nice tabletop here. Almost like you're doing tabletop on your knees, but your feet are wide. You really firmed up the glutes. And then float the hands out to the side, palms face down. Slowly come up and rotate the left foot, bending that left knee, warrior two. Straightening that left leg. Reach, adjusting the back foot if you need to. Reach, windmill, Uttita Trikonasana. Feel triangle. And then let the neck look up to the horizon and then down. All those movements. Bending that right knee, warrior two. And then rotating once more. Hands to the hips. Heel toe the feet towards each other. Mountain pose. Close the eyes. Feel the fruits of your practice. So I was walking in the woods the other day and I was speaking to some friends about just being aware of the woods, and it struck me as I used the word aware. We often break yoga up into levels of skill. But I don't feel yoga really works that way. To me, yoga is levels of awareness. How much attention am I paying to my own body, my own limitations, my own mind, my own emotions? Can I simply be aware of that flow and work with the raw materials I have rather than waiting for that futuristic moment when I have the skill? Can we just simply be present with our awareness? Take the weight into that left leg. Now bend the left knee and lift the right knee up. Float the hands out like wings, beautiful wings like crane. You can even flap those wings. Feel the stability in that left leg, or the instability, or the attempt to be stable. On the next exhale, flap the wings, wrap that right knee over the left, and then bring the right elbow under the left into your eagle, Garudasana. Feel the mighty eagle that could lift you up and fly you away. Shoulder blades come apart. Exhale, release, unwind, close the eyes. Shoulders roll back and down. Feel the reverberations of eagle as they rebound through the nervous system like an echo in a valley. Start to take the weight into the opposite leg. Lift the knee. Feel that crane pose. Wings moving. Beautiful and graceful. The next time you inhale, float that left knee over the right, attempting to wrap that foot behind the calf, or simply squeeze the inner thighs, left elbow under right. Find the stability in the squeeze. So sometimes I've heard eagles go through a transition time in their life where they reach a certain maturity. And this could be a fictional story, I don't know. Maybe someone who knows more about birds and eagles could tell me. But I'm told that they go through a very painful choice whether to destroy their beak and their claws that have become brittle and old so that they can grow anew. It's a very painful release. Exhale, hands together. Close the eyes. Samatiti pose of attention. So sometimes our yoga brings up effort and struggle. But if we see it as a service to the context of our whole life, sometimes effort and struggle can really help us renew our sense of balance, equanimity, compassion, conscience. Sometimes we just have to go through painful transitions to be able to appreciate these deeper qualities of our humanity. Now exhale, release the hands, widen the feet, rotate the feet outwards. Bend the knees as you slide the hands down, coming into a low squat. Now in the low squat, ideally you want the feet flat on the floor. You can take blocks or a block to sit on to alleviate some of that stretch on the inner thighs if the hips are tight, or if the ankles are tight. So there's many working parts here into bound triangle. Bring the hands together and work on rounding the back, dropping the chin, and then pulling the tailbone down and pulling the chest out, and you might feel the elbows pressing into the thighs. Or you might have the hands out to the side and use that to leverage perpendicularity of the spine. And then round, and then lengthen. Round, and then lengthen. Now the next time you lengthen, reach down with the elbow inside that bent knee and grab the top of the toes on each side. So you've created this bound triangle, Baddha Trikonasana. Feel the sensations. Close the eyes. Feel the tailbone move towards the earth like a taproot, growing towards the earth. And as the taproot plants in, the trunk of the tree, the spine, starts to become perpendicular. It starts to reach straight up to the sky. Bend the elbows a little more so there's no hyperextension in the elbow joint as you leverage the shoulders back. And then lengthen the neck. So the neck is part of the trunk, reaching for the sky. Crown of the head reaches up. Tailbone reaches down. Baddha Trikonasana. Exhale, release. As you reach behind you, use the hands to support you as you stand the feet on the edges of the mat. Push the hips forward for a moment. Squeeze the shoulder blades and open the chest. Gently turn the head to the left and then the right. Inhale the head to neutral. Let the knees swing to the left and then the right. Keep the feet wide so that the falling knee, the trailing knee would not reach the opposite foot if it landed on the ground. Let the arm joining, the trailing arm reaches around the horizon and reaches behind you and then comes back. Trailing arm reaches, draws a line in the horizon and back. Let the eyes follow that trailing arm, as if you're hypnotically connected between the hand and the eyes. Now the next time the knees come to the right, come down onto your elbows so you're in a twist. Elbows are on the ground. Knees are to the right. In this variation of a lumbar twist and Sphinx pose. Let the tailbone grow away. Let the crown of the head reach forward. Shoulders come back, ribs left. Each inhale, get a little longer in the spine. Each exhale, hold the length. Start to deepen the breath, moving into your Dirga Pranayama, your three-part yoga breath. If you know the Ujjayi sound, the ocean sounding breath, let that ocean sounding breath carry the Ujjayi, the Dirga Pranayama with it. Lengthening each breath. On the next exhale, walk the elbows apart. Bring the right hand down behind you, palm up, left hand out to the side, and melt into the earth. Feel the structure of that shape dissolve. Feel the breath moving through the body. Walk the hands back under the shoulders, pick yourself up. Turn and face the other way. Let the knees sway from side to side. Add the arms, the trailing arm comes around. The next time that opposite arm comes around, knees fall to the left this time. Come into the elbows, feeling that variation of twisted sphinx, and then start to lengthen through the spine. Grow the spine. Let the breath help you as you inhale, consciously pull tailbone and crown apart. Let the shoulders come back against the ribs to keep and support that length. The neck parallel to the earth, not arched, chin slightly tucked, not too much. Hold the length with each exhale. You may even feel a stretch sensation in the belly here. And then move into your contemplation of Dirga Pranayama with Ujjayi breath. Deep, slow breaths. Three more breaths. Keep the length. And on that third exhale, let the structure fall away. Left hand comes down behind you. Come onto that left cheek. Allow the body to melt into the earth, letting everything go. And then slowly make your way onto the belly. Let the stacking the hands underneath the forehead. Let the feet come out into Charlie Chaplin feet. And then just create a little rotation where the heels lift up, you come onto the tops of the toes, and then you rotate the heels back down towards the center of the body. Feeling the effect of that small rotation all the way up through the legs into the hips and low back. The next time the heels drape into the center Charlie Chaplin feet, come onto the elbows. Feel that variation of Sphinx. Drop the chin to the chest, shoulder blades apart. Let yourself sink into the shoulders, supported by the elbows. And then bringing the hands to the edges of the mat, rotating the hands out, fingers point outwards, thumbs point straight ahead. Cautiously extend the elbows into seal pose. Drop the chin. Feel the sensations. Let the breath move freely. Bend the elbows. Bring the big toes together. Point the toes this time. Reach the arms out in front, forehead or chin on the earth. Create a big stretch from toes to finger pads. Now lift the feet, lift the knees, lift the head, lift the chin. If it feels right, lift the hands. Come into this superhero flying position. Rotate the hands along the horizon, palms face down, spread the fingertips, squeeze the shoulder blades. Now lift the head, chest, and ribs off the floor. Breathe. Exhale, release, stack the hands. Rest the forehead or chin on the stacked hands. Bending the knees. Sway the legs like windshield wipers from side to side. And see if you can turn the head from temple to temple. Pause the legs, pause the head, and rotate the feet about the ankle joint. And then gently turn over and roll onto your back into Shavasana. Choosing the leg position that is going to delight your hips, low back. Perhaps the legs are straight and relaxed. Alternatively, the feet can stand on the mat, knees together. Feel the low back release with that constructive rest pose. Make sure the back of the neck stays long. If you need support under the head, allow. Perhaps you'd like a little more hip opening with the soles of the feet together, knees out to the sides. And then just find that hand position that works for you. Palms can be face up, resting on the belly, out to the sides. Relax the jaw, the tongue. And let your intention move from the crown of the head down into the whole body. Let your body be flooded with this nourishing, cleansing intention. And whether the mind is quiet or busy, it makes no difference. The goal of Shavasana is not to have a quiet mind. The goal of Shavasana is to receive whatever is happening. Sometimes our practice will stir things up. Sometimes it will create space to digest. And sometimes there might even be bliss descend. But never worry about what your practice brings you. Just know that you gave everything to your practice. And wherever you are, bend the knees and stand the feet on the mat. And then gently squeeze the knees towards you and rock from side to side. Roll all the way over to one side, curl up into a little ball. Fetal pose. And then make your way to a comfortable seat. Take your time. And remembering you're probably at home watching this, so you can decide what you want to do, whether you want to extend and come into meditation, stay in meditation, or whether you've got your practice done and are ready to flow into the day. Find a stable seat, long spine, soft face, open chest. Feel the breath. Receive. Inhale, hands above the head. Exhale, lower. On the next inhale, we'll end with an Om. Inhale, lift. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me. Happy whatever day of the week it is. And remember, I've got a ton of videos on my website. So I've got 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, 1 hour. So use those videos to help dovetail your day. Make just to wake the body up. It could be just a short 10-minute video. All right. I look forward I hear outdoor yoga will be starting soon, so let's look forward to that. Take care. Bye.